I'm 43 years old and I became a millionaire at age 32. And if I had to start all over from age 18, completely broke, and I had to become a millionaire by the age of 30, this is exactly what I would do. I'm gonna break the whole shit down for you. And here's the thing, I would have got rich faster if I was doing it now, because the internet is way more sophisticated than it was when I was first embarking on this journey. My first website, I had to code that shit with HTML. You don't know nothing about that. But MySpace was still out. I think Instagram was about to come out. We didn't have no Shopify, no ClickFunnels, none of that. Should be a lot easier for you guys. So if you start watching this video and at any point you think, man, I can never do that, then maybe being a millionaire is not for you. And that's okay. I'm sure you have redeeming qualities outside of your work ethic and mental fortitude. Somebody got to mop the floors and drive the Ubers and make my double espresso at Starbucks. And I'm gonna give you a fake name. I don't want you to know who I am. I'm gonna tell you my name is Dorillis. And you gonna spell that shit with an apostrophe. Spell my shit right. But if you are one of the few people with enough gumption to attack this goal with ferocity, and if you're willing to sacrifice and work hard and put in the work, then this video is exactly for you. Again, none of this is gonna be some get rich quick scheme shit. If you want a get rich quick scheme, there's tons of other videos of people promising you that shit. If you find a get rich quick scheme that works, come back and let me know. Cause I've been looking for one for 43 years. Yeah, since day one. I came out the womb looking for a get rich quick scheme, wasn't able to find one. In my experience, everybody I know who's made millions had to do it with a lot of hard work. And if you're willing to put in that hard work, this video will march you down that path. When I was 18, I was in college, Howard University School of Business. A lot of you guys may be 18 now and you think, should I go to college? What are there's pros and cons to going to college? Everything I'm gonna tell you can be done while you're in college, or you might want to just not go to college and do your own thing. If you don't want to go to college, that's cool. You know, I'm a proponent of college, but I've changed my stance. If you are black, go to college, nigga. If you're white, do whatever you want. This country was literally made for you. If you can't make it here, motherfucker, you can't make it anywhere. And the reason I say that is because 80% of self-made millionaires are college graduates, right? You just want to put the odds in your favor. And if you're black, the odds are not in your favor off the rip. And also, the average college graduate makes twice as much as the average person with just a high school degree, according to the Bureau of Labor and Statistics. So we just want to put the odds in your favor. Also, everybody I know who says, man, how do I meet like-minded people? Oh, motherfucker, you didn't go to college. That's where you think the young people who are like serious about success, where you think they go? Yeah, man, to college. They don't stay at their fucking mommy's house like, yo, dumbass. Also, when I meet a motherfucker in their late 20s or 30s who's like super broke, 100% of them didn't go to college. Because what it does is it raises the floor. You can only fall so far with a college degree. So if you're black or Latino, man, I say go to college. Now, some people may be thinking, what about all the debt? Shut the fuck up, man. You don't have to go to expensive college. You can go to a state school. The average in-state tuition is $10,000 nationwide. $10,000. You can make that shit working at Foot Locker, Starbucks, motherfucker driving Uber when you're not at school. You don't have to go into debt. You just don't go through expensive school, dumbass. Listen, man, a lot of states have programs where you can go to college for free. Like here in Florida, if you have a 3.5 GPA in high school, a fucking B+ average, it's fucking nothing. A B+ average in Florida, you can go to any state school for free. It's paid for by the lottery. It's called the Hope Scholarship. It's fucking free. It might be called the Bright Future Scholarship. And in Georgia, if you got a 3.0, you can go to any state school in Georgia for free. Fucking Georgia State, Kennesaw State, Georgia Tech, all that for free. You just need a 3.0. That's a B average. They giving that shit to dummies. Fucking anybody can get that shit, right? So when motherfuckers talk about, oh man, I took on all this college debt, blah, blah, blah. It's like, fucking dumbass. No one told you to do that shit. Go to a state school. It's fucking cheap. Or, you know, and if you live in one of these states, you can get fucking scholarships for free. Shit is paid for by the lottery. I hear some motherfuckers say, man, I went to college and I ain't even learned nothing. Like, you fucking dumbass. That's not a flex. Yo, dumbass, pick the college, pick the major, and pick the classes. If you didn't learn anything, your fault, dipshit. You could have changed your fucking classes. You could have changed your major. You could have changed schools. That is a admission of stupidity. Listen, pay attention. 80% of self-made millionaires went to college. Now, you don't have to go to college. I'm just talking about putting the odds in your favor. If you don't want to go, or you got some reason where you don't go, or you can't go, or if you're watching this and it's too fucking late, that's cool, man. You can do all the shit, all the examples I'm gonna give you, whether you went to college or not. The first thing you need to do, if you want to get rich, it's very difficult to get rich with a job. You can do it, but if I wanted to do it as fast as possible, the first thing I would do is probably start a business. And the business I would start would be some sort of service-based business, because a service-based business has low startup costs and low overhead. If you start a business where you want to make apparel, and there's going to be cost of goods and a cost associated with the production of the apparel, or some sort of physical product, there's going to be a lot of costs associated, right? But if you have a service-based business, it's typically going to start as you doing some shit for someone. And what that's going to be, because you're basically doing labor, what's going to happen is the startup costs will be a lot lower. My first business where I made my first million was an online training. I was one of the first people to do online training back in like 2010. Nobody was doing it before that. I was in that first class of people where we had to kind of invent it. But it was a service-based business, almost zero startup costs and almost zero overhead. And another thing is 80% of businesses fail, right? But why does a business fail? A business fails because they run out of money and they can't sustain it. But because you have a service-based business, you don't need a physical location. You don't have cost of goods. The overhead is super low. Initially, you won't have any employees to pay except for yourself. So how could you go out of business if it's low overhead? It's very difficult to go out of business. You can not make money and still stay in business, right? So it's harder to fail, if that makes sense. Some sort of service-based business. For me, it was online training. You can pick anything. You can do video editing. You can do video production. You can do AI automation, like providing AI automations for different businesses, right? There's tons of different ones you can do. I have a whole nother video on different side hustles that you can start, right? But this is why we pick service-based businesses. Low overhead, low startup costs. Now, once you have that business, once you have the idea of what you want to do, probably need to get good at it. Probably some shit you need to learn. Luckily, there's tons of YouTube videos, courses, books on any topic that you want to learn. You can join somebody's mentorship. If you're super broke, you can just watch fucking hours and hours of YouTube videos, take notes, all that shit, and you can learn anything. So I would spend as much time as possible learning whatever skill I need in order to perform this service for people, right? And here's how you should judge how good you are at this thing. So I'm gonna bring up something called the skill acquisition matrix. This is how you can get good at anything relatively fast. There's something called the 10,000 hour rule, meaning if you want to be world class at something, you have to get 10,000 hours of practice. You don't typically need to be world class at something, right? The 10,000 hour rule is kind of based off Malcolm Gladwell's work in his book Outliers, but there's tons of other books that mention the 10,000 hour rule as well. A book called The Talent Code, another book called Talent is Overrated. But what I've noticed is you probably don't need 10,000 hours for anything. So I think it goes like this. After 100 hours, you're not bad. You don't suck, but you're not like amazing. Like bitches ain't throwing panties at you. Any of you ever played an instrument? If you practice every day for 3 months, which is like 90 days, you'll be like not bad. Not great, but not bad. 1,000 hours, that's when you're fucking good. Oh, this motherfucker's good. Anybody sees you do it, it's like, oh, he's good at what he does. 2,000 hours, you're really good. That's when it's like, oh shit. People will start to get kind of amazed. 5,000 hours, you are amazing. Like amazing. 10,000 hours, obviously one of the best in the world. 20,000 hours, that's where you get to one of the best ever. Like this motherfucker is one of the best ever. Now it's just math. If you practice or study or whatever your skill for 1 hour a day, right, boom, after 3 months, you'll be not bad. I'm rounding to some of these numbers, so any of you math nerds, like don't be fucking fact checking my shit. Like 2 hours a day, you get good in a little under 2 months. 3 hours a day, you get good in a month. 4 hours a day, you get good in 25 days. Now, 1 hour a day, you get to 1,000 hours, which is good. You get there in 2.7 years, right? It just goes on and on. It takes time. You can screenshot this shit, boom. What we really want to focus on initially is getting past the not bad. This is when you're not bad, you're not amazing, but you're good enough to start. You want to get to 100 hours of practice or studying as soon as possible. Because the thing is, the people you're going to be helping, they probably don't know how to do this shit at all. You'll look really good to them initially. Now, when I first started online training, I'm going to be honest with you, I had well over 1,000 hours of training when I first started, right? Because I had been a trainer since I was fucking 17. I had been a personal trainer 16, 17. So I had like a lot of hours of practice, but I still had to learn other shit, online marketing, and I had to learn how to build funnels, and I had to learn how to build landing pages and learn copywriting and email marketing. I had to learn a bunch of different skills. But it was like, yo, I just looked at the skill acquisition matrix. All right, man. All these skills I was trying to learn, I would track how many hours I spent on them, right? And the beauty of this is, because this can look discouraging, but I find it encouraging, because if you're tracking the hours you spend acquiring a skill, then when you get to that point where you feel like you're frustrated, and you're going to get there, you're going to, I don't know if I can do this. I'm fail, right? Everyone goes through that. All you have to do is look at how many hours you spent on it. And then you'll notice, oh shit, I'm not even supposed to be good right now. I only got 20 hours of practice. That will cause you to not get as discouraged. Anyway, your first goal is to get 100 hours. Obviously, you're going to keep practicing and you're going to keep doing the thing for years potentially. And once you're doing it full time, then you'll have more than 4 hours a day. Then you'll start moving fast. Then once you had that 100 hours of practice and study, here's what you do. Step 3, you're going to help some people for free. When I teach people to grow their online fitness businesses, a lot of people, when they don't have testimonials or when they're brand new, maybe they don't have a lot of experience, first thing I do is say, I tell them to do this. And this is what I did as well. You help some people accomplish their goal for free. Find some people that you're going to train for free for like a month. You might have to find a business if you're doing some copywriting or email automation or something like that, and help them for free for a month. But you're going to treat them as if they're paying clients. This is going to do two things. One is going to give you some more practice, which you probably need. But more importantly, if you can get them results within a month, now you have testimonials. So you're going to help them for a month in exchange for testimonials. So if you're doing something like buying ads, if you want to do Facebook ads for someone, a few local businesses say, hey, I'll run your ads for free for a month. All I want is testimonials starting my business. And you might have to go to a lot of people to sell them on that, but somebody will take you up on it, right? Especially if it doesn't cost them nothing. And then you're going to get results for them in 1 month. So for personal trainers, what I tell them to do is get the fattest people you can find. And the reason you want to get the fattest motherfuckers available is because the fatter you are, the faster you lose weight. As your body fat percentage starts to go down, it becomes more difficult to lose fat because your body wants to retain a certain amount of body fat. Find people you can get results for in a month in exchange for testimonials. So if you're fucking a video editor, tell some influencers, man, I'll do shorts for you for a month. YouTube shorts, Instagram reels, TikToks for a month. And then what you do is then you get the results from them, right? And then what you're going to do now, step 4, now you're going to start marketing those results to paid customers. That's what I would do. The acquisition channels you're going to use are obviously social media, right? Because it's free. I were you, a lot of you guys probably need to start running ads for your product or service. Or maybe you get your first clients off social media. And then once you get some money coming in, then you can start running ads. Now that's a whole nother skill, right? And it's going to be difficult for me to go into how to run ads because every business is going to be different. After you have those testimonials, maybe use social media, get your first few clients. You might have to do outreach, like outreach to people every day, DM people every day. Do whatever you got to do to get your first clients from social media. And then you start running ads to scale. And that's exactly how I made my first $1 million, man. I kept doing it. I kept going. And then what happened was the next step is once you start to scale, start running ads, you start getting clients. Now you want to start replacing yourself. Because when you're first running your business, you got to do everything. You got to do the fulfillment of the product. You got to do the marketing. You got to do the sales. You got to do the customer management. You got to wear all the hats. That's why business is so hard. That's why starting is so difficult. It's very rare you see somebody get to $1 million with a one-person business. So what you want to do is you want to start breaking off the parts of your businesses and hiring people to do it. It's going to be different depending on what business you have. Let's say you're an online trainer. First thing you might do is hire a video editor. My first hire was a video editor because that took up the most time. I hired a video editor to do my YouTube, and we didn't really have Instagram videos at the time, right? But that was the first thing. Then I hired someone to do the websites. For example, you could hire someone to do your copywriting. You can hire somebody to post on your social media. And as you keep scaling, you keep replacing yourself, but you can do more. You don't work less, motherfucker. You do more of the things that make you money. So for example, when I hired the video editor, I bought back hours of my day, like multiple hours per day. So I started working even harder at getting clients and training my clients, right? And then I got to the point where I had to hire like just other people to do all the jobs, but I kept working as hard. Here's the thing, the last thing you outsource is the sales, because the sales is the most important part of the business. Because if you don't make sales, you don't got a business. You kind of got a hobby, right? So you want to take that seriously and then make that the very last thing that you outsource. And basically you just keep growing. And once you have all these pieces, you have a team at this point. Then, you keep investing in your team, and you keep investing in ads to keep the money rolling in. And that's really the game plan. That's actually the game plan. If you want to know how to start an online fitness business, I got a free ebook for you called The 10 Commandments of Online Training. It's free. It'll walk you through that whole business. That's where I have the most domain expertise. That's how I made my first million. And I've helped a number of people become millionaires from online training. I'm gonna be honest with you, I only got like 20 students who've become a millionaire, but I got literally thousands of students who got to 100K per year or more. A lot of them within their very first year. If you want to learn more about that, the link is in the description and it's free. The 10 Commandments of Online Training.